Hey up everybody, Magpie9901 here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about Battlefield 1, and mainly why I've not played it in over a month. And it wasn't until the other night at work, I was flicking through YouTube, and you get the suggestions down the not left hand side, the right hand side, that give you suggested videos. And there was one from a YouTuber, and I do apologise, I forget your name, I can't remember. But this guy did a video about why he hasn't been playing Battlefield 1 and what he thought those reasons were. And a lot of his reasons actually struck a chord with me, because up until that point I didn't even realise that I'd not played it. When it came to Christmas and I had a week's holiday for Christmas, I thought, yes, get some Battlefield playing, blah blah blah, and I actually never went on it. For whatever reason, I've been busy with Forza Horizon 3, I've been trying to max out that as much as I can, playing other titles, and I remember there was a point where I thought, yeah, I'm going to play it, and then I didn't bother. And it got me thinking, did this video, why haven't I played it? And a lot of the reasons this guy had was a lot of the reasons that I haven't played it as well. And I think one of the main ones that he pointed out was the lack of content. Now, I feel kind of selfish doing that, because Battlefield 1 is a very big game, you do get a lot of content with it, but I, like a lot of other people, bought the Ultimate version, so I didn't have to pay any extra for the DLC when it eventually comes out. You know, it does work out cheaper in the long run. It's a big, it's a lot of money to put down on a game instantly, but it works out cheaper in the long run. And I thought, when the next DLC comes out, or should I say when the first lot of DLC comes out in March, We Shall Not Pass, it's going to be getting on for nearly 5 months since since the game was released. And in those 5 months, all we will have had is we had the hardcore game mode come out, the Fog of War game mode, which is okay, but it's nothing special. And we had one map, Giant Shadow, which again, in my opinion, was a complete load of crap. It was thrown together, it was, a very open map, suit snipers more than anything else. It wasn't really, you could tell they'd not put a lot of thought into it, really. So, I mean, they were using part of the map from the campaign, so they didn't have to really do much, they just had to, sort out the areas that you played in. And I just thought, it's got a little bit boring. I know that when BF4 came out, by this point we'd already had the first lot of DLC, we'd had a lot of extra content, they'd added quite a lot to it. And I will say that at the end of BF4's life, it had too much content, really. The guns and the options, it got too much. They needed to simplify it, and I think that's what they've done with Battlefield 1. But it's just, I don't know, we're waiting too long for the extra content, in my opinion, and I just got bored of it. You can play the different game modes, and they add a little bit of longevity to it, but not a massive amount. The maps had become, you knew all of the choke points in the maps, you knew the best places to be. You can tell roughly how a game of Conquest is going to go, and it just got a little bit boring. And I really don't like saying that, because Battlefield 1 for me is probably one of the best FPS games out there. I mean, if you're into FPS titles, multiplayer ones especially, then you have to have got this game. If you are into FPS and multiplayer ones at best, and you haven't got this game, then you're not really into FPS games, because you're missing out. It is one of the best ones. Graphically, it is beautiful. It is one of the best looking games I've ever seen. It scales really well depending on your hardware setup. People with crappy graphics cards can still play it quite well. It will scale really good. The launch was good, a hell of a lot better than Battlefield 1. I mean, they couldn't get much worse than that, but there were no real big problems at launch. Came out really well, the servers held up, it's done really good. I do think that the lack of dedicated servers and custom servers is one of the things that holds it back for me. Battlefield 4's longevity for me was continued because I was able to pick out a list of favourite servers, and I used those all the time. And I stuck with it. I think there was about 4 or 5 that I had favourited, kept them in the list, and those were the ones that I visited all the time. Plus, I only ever played 2 maps towards the end of Battlefield 4, and that was the remastered Metro and Locker. Didn't bother with the other maps because I'm not really into the open area maps. That was something that was going to put me off Battlefield 1 until I started playing it, and I realised that not one map suits one class. You know, all classes can play all maps, which is good. So it wasn't just a case of there was 30 odd people all playing sniper. So, but yeah, it's an odd one because I really like the game. But I've just looked at my Origin account and I haven't actually played the game since the 19th of December. So we're well over a month now since I last played it. I've put in 82 hours on the game up until that point. I think I'm rank 41 or 42, something like that. So I did enjoy the game, but I don't know, I just can't get back into it at the moment. So, but as you'll see from the footage in this, I've obviously just played it so that I could put some Battlefield 1 footage in the background of this video, but still, it doesn't make me want to play it every day, and Battlefield 4 did. Battlefield 4 held my attention for a lot longer than Battlefield 1 has, even though I was one of these people that wanted them to go back in the past. I wanted to see a World War II or a World War I, or, you know, something from the past. I wanted that kind of setting. I was one of the people that wanted this. And yet now I'm playing it less than I did Battlefield 4, which was a modern day setting. So, I don't know, it's a curious one. Hopefully when the new DLC drops, or maybe if I make myself play it a couple of times over the weekend, I'll get stuck back into it again. We'll have to see. Hopefully the DLC will hold me, there'll be enough in that to bring me into enough weapons and new maps to bring me back into it properly. But right now it all feels a bit flat, and that's all I can say really, is that it's just a simple lack of content. So yeah, it's a bit, even when there's controversy around a game, you know, something don't work properly or something don't look right or they're having issues with it, I think that tends to bring a lot of people in because it gets the publicity, and sometimes any publicity is good publicity. Even if it's pointing out something bad, it can bring you back into a game just to see if that problem affects you as well. And I think it's running really smooth, it's running really well, and I've just got bored. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, of you being a big player of Battlefield 1 and stayed on it since it was launched and still playing now, or like me, if you got a bit bored and you're just going to come back when the new DLC comes out. Let me know. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, that is fine. Don't forget to subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next one. Take care.